Hello everyone and welcome to the patch 3.3 Sawbones Scoundrel overview, I guess. We'll take a quick look at the 3.3 Scoundrel Healer. Pretty nice actually, pretty nice buffs that we've got here on the Scoundrel Healer. So one of the first things we've done is of course we put a nice dress on. Or you know, if you're going to be Scoundrel healing, make sure you look good. You know, you want to look good. You want to look a bit elegant. You know, she's not very happy wearing a dress, you know, because she's a bar brawler. She likes to punch things in the face, but you're healing. It's like, no, you're healing. First of all, you're wearing a nice dress. When you go into Carbonite, we want you to look your best in 4.0. So yeah, that's one of the most important aspects out of the way. You want to look good. You need to look good as a Scoundrel, okay? Look good as a Scoundrel. So what has changed in patch 3.3? One of the biggest changes that we've had, one of the biggest buffs that we've certainly had, is bedside mana up to 5%. Consuming an upper hand ability increases all healing done by 5%, up from 3%. 2%, nice. It's really nice for our single target healing. 2% buff on that is very, very nice. Now the other changes is Colto Cloud. Big changes to Colto Cloud. It's energy reduction. It's down to 15 energy. Its cooldown is also reduced if you get the 6-piece set bonus. That's the other change. Reduces the cooldown of recuperative nanotech and Colto Cloud by 3 seconds. Makes it quite useful now, quite functional. A lot of people ask, should we still have the old 2-piece? A lot of people saying right now, a lot of testing has been done, and people saying that you get more Colto Clouds out with the 6-piece. Apparently the 6-piece is the better of the three. The better of the two, should we say. The old 2-piece gave you the 15% healing increase, which again I guess we could use. But I think when we're doing progression, I think we want the extra armorings and things that we get from having the 6-piece. So I go with the 6-piece. Again, just getting that cooldown reduced is pretty nice, actually, because we're in a pretty good place gear-wise. Gear-wise, it's pretty good. We've got quite a lot of Revanite gear. 2 Revanite relics. We've got a Revanite implant, a Revanite earpiece, and look at the power in those gloves with the Revanite modern enhancement, should we say, because I bought the gunslinger headpiece. So of course I sent the armoring to my gunslinger and I kept the power alacrity. Power alacrity is pretty damn nice. We'll get to stats in a bit. So big changes. Underworld medicine also had a nice little buff, and Colto Pack has had a slight buff nerf. Its initial heal has been buffed, but its heal over time has been kind of knocked back a little bit. Not that it's really that huge, really, but Underworld medicine is pretty damn nice as well. Diagnostic scan, also big change. We can use it on the move. Its healing has been reduced, but who cares, to be honest, about its healing. The only really way we use Diagnostic Scan is to regen energy, because critical ticks of Diagnostic Scan restore 2 energy. So really, that's all we really want to use it for. But we can now use it on the move, so we can restore energy while moving. Pretty useful. Gives us a bit of mobility. I suppose if we need to put out a heal while moving, if we've got our hot stacked and, you know, there's something there, need to regen that energy on the move, then we can use it on the move. So it's pretty useful there. For healing, it's kind of a slight nerf to our sustained AoE output. If you remember our sustained AoE output, our Colto Waves was just amazing. Our Colto Waves now has a 9-second cooldown, 9.3 second cooldown with 7% alacrity, that is. So now instead of having the 5-second cooldown, so we are Underlurker, we might struggle a little bit. Underlurker is where we really shined, because we could just sit and spam Colto Waves with our 6-piece set bonus, which reduced the cooldown by 3 seconds. So it was down to like 6.3 seconds, and we could sit and spam this. Now this is down to 11 seconds, 11.2 seconds. Colto Cloud has had its healing reduced slightly, however its energy cost going up. You can see how little energy it now costs right now, so very, very useful. So our AoE healing on the move should help us out in fights like Sword Squadron Fights like that are very, very good for us as well. We're previously very bad. Also, the heal of Colto Pack, you should see how much this heals for now. If we get our bedside mana up and then pop up a Colto Pack, it's 8.1k, pretty nice. The hot, I honestly never really noticed the difference. It does seem to be a bit lower, I would say. Got a nice little crit there off of that. So the hot is a little bit nerfed. Also, the healing over time of slow release med pack has had a little bit of a nerf. But if we get this off, if we spend one of these, get this off, get our bedside mana up, and then get a big auto crit underworld medicine, you can see how much that crits for is insane. Bear in mind that we do get 20% crit bonus of underworld medicine and Colto Pack. Very, very nice for us. So we want to be critting quite a bit. Critting is, we want some crit as a Scoundrel for gearing. 28% I like. Some people say 30%. I find 28 works pretty well. A lot of people say you should only be 70% surge. I like my surge. I like it. I find it improves my single target healing. 75 is usually where the diminishing return point hits, so we're pretty much not going to be focusing on surge anymore. Probably we'll get a Revanite implant, so we'll probably add 9 more surge, but the big focus is going to be alacrity. Alacrity helps us out. Helps us out with our movement and helps us out with our AoE healing, because again it increases the channel speed of Colto waves, which is pretty nice. Again, you think about fights like Underlurker when you're hiding behind the rock, say this is the Underlurker rock, and you get time for the knockback, so you want to pop out your Colto waves while you're hiding under the rock, and you want to get the whole duration of Colto waves out. So alacrity really does help us. 7% is generally where we need to be. We're just slightly on it. We were at 6.9 for a while, so we could drop a bit of surge and put a bit of crit alacrity up, but if we really wanted to, I guess we could basically get this another Revanite field medics implant basically, and then get more crit, more alacrity, 30% crit, and probably what, 7.5% alacrity, probably pushing towards 8%. Maybe I wouldn't go beyond 8%, but again it would help us with their AoE. But I like single target healing. Having downed Sword Squadron, finally got Sword Squadron down and wiping on the Lurker, and I did win the piece when we downed Sword Squadrons. That was nice. Bit of crit, bit of surge, it was pretty nicely. I like having a lot of crit. Bear in mind that your underworld medicine really does benefit from crit. If it crits 20%, so it's 94% surge we get on that. Very, very nice, because their surge is 74%. So if you add 20% to that, it's 94% critical healing bonus on that underworld medicine if it crits. Bear in mind we do have the auto crit, we have the 2-piece set bonus, so again it really does make us a really good healer. Let's talk a bit about utilities for the Scoundrel, because we are maining this one. Utilities, I always take these two. Smuggled Get Up, Scar Tissue. Again, if you're doing Lurker, or you're doing any raiding, these two are mandatory, especially Lurker. Reduce all area of effect damage taken by 30%. Do not do Underlurker in any mode without this. And again, all damage reduction by 5%. The rest, pick what you want, really. There's nothing really mandatory. Increase the movement speed and stealth. There's nothing else. You could argue hold out defense, maybe. But then again, we're very rarely in melee range of the boss by the time when we're healing. So very rarely. Sometimes we could occasionally use it. Underlurker HM, maybe there's a case for it. You know, you could blaster whip one of the lurkerlings and get your holdout defense, but we tend to be healing so much anyway that it doesn't really matter. Flash powder is pretty useful as well. If you're doing flashpoints and your tank isn't very good and you're getting aggro a lot of times, it can be a very nice defensive cooldown. So whenever you use Flash Grenade, it reduces the target's accuracy by 20%. If you're dying in the bonus boss in Depths of Manan to the ads, take this. Take this for those ads, because they hit really hard. 20% accuracy reduction for 8 seconds. Pretty damn nice. Pretty damn nice. This one, again, defense screen heals you for your maximum health when it collapses. Pretty nice. Nice little 5% of our maximum health. Is pretty nice. For Lurker HM, Dirty Trickster. We really want that as well. Surrender purges movement impairing effects. For Lurker HM, you get a bunch of movement impairing effects, and of course we want keep cool. Cool Head immediately restores 15 additional energy. I tend to take these two for Lurker HM. For Sword Squadron, we kind of want med screen. And this one, you're going to take Smuggle Defenses, reduce the cooldown of Escape by 30 seconds, Defense Screen by 5 seconds. It's really Defense Screen, because Defense Screen is very, very nice for us. It's very good. And again, Hotwire Defenses, if we're taking spike damage, like if we're doing Sword Squadron, and we get the grenade or we get the gravity that pulls us in, then this is very, very good. Take no damage in the gravity phase. You pop this up when you get the little circle under you after the gravity, and you'll take no damage. No damage whatsoever. Also, Sparky is very, very good. As soon as he goes into the pounce phase, you just put one of them up, and if he pounces to you, he does nothing. Does absolutely, you can just laugh in his face. Literally, just walk up to that dog and kick it in the nuts. Yeah, that's what you're going to do after that. After that phase, he hits you, knocks you down, you're going to run up, we're going to slash laugh at him, and we're going to dirty kick him. That's what we're going to do to him. Because he means nothing to us. The only other thing, surprise comeback can be pretty useful. I tend to take that for Underlurker. So if we're taking constant damage, like Underlurker, where we're taking constant AoE damage, surprise comeback gives Pugnacity a heal, so it restores 5% of her health and reduces damage received by 20% for the duration. Pugnacity is quite nice, increases our alacrity by 10%. Again, helps our burst healing out when we're popping that as well. We keep our triage adrenal. I still need to learn the purple one. Actually, I mean to do that. But yeah, very, very useful for burst healing. Tank's health starts to get low. Pop our Pugnacity, and it's very, very good. Again, on Lurker, we can use it with Cold Waves, and it does help us out pretty nicely. So it does double as a defensive cooldown, so you've got essentially Dodge, Defense Screen, and Pugnacity. 3 defensive cooldowns as well that you've got. So if constant damage is going out and you need more defensive cooldowns, I would take Surprise Comeback. But for spike damage, Hotwire Defense is awesome. I don't think there's anything else you really need as a healer here. Disappearing Act grants 2 seconds of dodge. Skedaddle, maybe. Disappearing Act has a 2-minute cooldown. And, no, they're both 2-minute cooldowns. You could argue that Pugnacity... I like Pugnacity. It's a cool ability. Gives us extra healing. Gives us really nice alacrity out of that. So I tend to take Surprise Comeback. We get 5% free healing and 20% less damage, whereas we get 2 seconds of dodge. Bear in mind, certain attacks can't be dodged. So maybe Skedaddle, maybe. None of these are useful. None of these, really. Every time you get attacked, the cooldown of your dodge is reduced by 3 seconds. Yeah, bear in mind on Sword Squadron, we can't really do any dodging, because it's only melee and ranged attacks. And it tends to be, I think it's tech attacks that we get hit by with the gravity as a tech attack. So, can't dodge it, so it tends to be a bit useless. So we take Defense Screen. But anyway, the healing seems pretty nice. Pretty nice upgrade for us as a healer. It does improve our burst healing. The only thing I would say that I would like is if our 2p set bonus, rather than have a critical heal, make our next Thunderbolt Medicine critical heal, I'd rather it made it instant. Because that's one of the problems with the Scoundrel healer is we get sniped a lot. Because what we do as a Scoundrel healer, we get our hots up. We get our hots up here, and what we do is, it helps if we were in stealth, we'll go into stealth, come out of stealth, get some upper hand, and then what we do is spend an upper hand ability. So generally it's either Colto Pack or upper hand. You see everything's lined up really nicely for us here, and we're about to do a big massive crit heal. So we had our auto crit, our relic proc, and our bedside manner. There we got 13.1k heal there. So what happens is we set up our big heals. Again, we keep that up, get our bedside manner up, and we've got another relic proccing, but we don't have the auto crit one. So, and there you go, very little heal there. So what you do is I'd rather reduce its cast time. 1.9 seconds, quite long, because what happens is when we're healing a tank, what happens is commandos, sages come along, instant cast, boom, heal the tank, and then our Underworld Medicine that we've worked hard to set up, because we want to spend an upper hand ability, make sure our hots are ticking, Get your bedside mana up, and then hit your underworld medicine. But what happens is that we get sniped, basically. We get those emergency scan, or whatever it's called, it was advanced medical probe instant casts that your commando puts up, and oh, tank's got full health, and we tend to lose out a bit on tank healing when we're healing with another healer. It's not so much an issue in a flashpoint, but it would be nice if it made it instant, or at least cut the cast time by, I don't know, 50% maybe. Get it down to 1 second, maybe. That would be kind of cool. A proc to make it instant cast. Would it be instant cast auto, an instant cast crit heal with one of them with bedside mana up? That would be amazing. Amazingly good at the time. That would be so cool to get that. But that's the only real gripe I have with it, because we tend to have very low EHPS. Our EHPS sits around 60-70% mark, you know, because a lot of our HOTS go over. So that's why I think a nerf to HOTS is not a huge thing for us. It's not huge, because honestly, what I find when I look at the data is that most of my HOTS are overheals. When I look at star parse data, overheal, what you get is every other healer heals to full. And we don't really have to as a Scoundrel, because if we've got Colto Pack and 2 stacks of cold slow release med pack, should we say, on the tank, and the tank's at like 95% health, we can just leave that tank. Just leave them. They're going to be fine. That tank is going to be fine. Because your HOTS are going to tick on it. And your HOTS will tick that tank up to 100%. And any subsequent damage is going to get covered by HOTS. Whereas other healers see that and go, oh, I'm going to heal that. And then our EHPS just goes down, percentage-wise just drops. Because all those HOTS that we've set up have gone to waste. So that's the frustration of a Scoundrel healer. But it is a fun healer to play. It is very fun now. We'll do some gameplay. We've already done the gameplay video anyway, so we'll do that. We do Korban Incursion again. Need to record the Sage one still, and we'll get to that eventually. So we'll do a bit of gameplay with it. So anyway, that is all for this video. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you again soon, and goodbye.